Well, hi! Welcome to my channel. It's the Whitey White Guy Show. I'm Whitey. And on the show, we do movie reviews, retro video game reviews, unboxings, some product stuff. Product stuff. Yeah, these were delicious. There, product stuff. Um, so I just got done watching the film Firebird. Let me double check that. I'm pretty sure it's called Firebird. With Nicolaus Cage, Tommy Lee Jones, and see where I pull this up. Fuck it, it's called Firebird. And I saw this years ago, and I remembered the part where the dude's driving around in a jeep with underwear in his head, and the thing about one eye being dominant over the other eye. But I don't remember too much about it, so I just rewatched it, and I'll give this film some credit right away because I have been watching movies, of course, to review, and I'm ADD and I'm a jerk face, and there's been a bunch of movies where I'll watch like 20 minutes of it, go do something else, come back, watch 20 minutes of it. I tried to muscle down Dumb and Dumber 2, Dumb and Dumber 2 TO, the sequel to the first one. I couldn't finish it. So credit where credit's due to this film because I watched the whole thing all the way through. I took a quick pee break at one point, but I'm getting old. That's happening. Um, so credit to the film. I watched it all the way through, and it wasn't too damn annoying or something. Um, that having been said, this is a cookie cutter by the numbers. There were 10 of these in the late 80s, early 90s. Um, and this film did nothing but nothing to be unique. It was very much a Top Gun was very successful. Let's make a movie like that. Only it's Apache helicopters as opposed to jets. Same movie. It's oh my god, it's the same movie. So, um, what's his name? Nicolas Cage with all his hair. Wow, that's like probably the best part of this movie. Nicolas Cage has all his hair, maybe thinning just a bit. Tall, handsome hair, Nicolas Cage. He plays an Apache helicopter pilot, and in the opening scene, another Apache helicopter gets shot down, and a Black Hawk helicopter gets shot down. And because he's so good, he manages to get out of it and survive. And the pilot is a guy whose name is like Scheckler or so. It's like a German name, but he's played by a dude who looks like he's like from Peru or something, or the Middle East. I don't know. Anyway, so that happens. Start the film. Two helicopters get shot down, and this is the early '90s. Is this or very late '80s when this is supposed to be taking place? The movie came out in '90, and so we didn't have any wars happening at the time. So this is all working with the DEA in terms of the drug cartels. That's like your bad guys, the drug cartels in Latin America, the very non-specific drug cartel, not a specific drug cartel from a specific country, just the drug cartel. Okay, great. The DEA. All right, let's do that. And so Nicolas Cage, he's an Apache helicopter pilot. And Tommy Lee Jones is the guy who's his boss. He's the I don't know. I know infantry. I don't know anything. This is the army. Um, and then Captain Dale Dye, who's been in a bunch of movies, is Tommy Lee Jones's boss. Tommy Lee Jones is the old veteran. There's a scene where they throw him a party. He just turned 40, and I watched that, and I'm like, I just turned 39, and I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm as old as the guys in the movies who are the old guys in the movies. Oh no. I'm not 12 anymore. So anyway, Tommy Lee Jones is the old veteran He's really good, but he doesn't have the same endurance anymore. There's one point where he's out running, doing his PT, and everybody's running past him, and he's tired. He lives with his wife and a couple kids. She's a nice lady. And so Nicolas Cage is the young hotshot. He's not a rookie. So thank you, movie. It's not his first time. He didn't just come out of the academy. He's a more veteran but still younger guy pilot. And then they have to train because the dude that killed the crew is like really super good. The German sounding guy who's cast by somebody from Peru or the Middle East. And so the whole, like, an hour plus of this movie is Nicolas Cage and Tommy Lee Jones and the other characters who you know are going to get killed. And one guy didn't. And I was like, they didn't kill the guy. And he was the guy where, like, yeah, 10 seconds after they introduced him, you're like, you're so fucking dead. You're that guy. You were going to die. And then it was somebody else. Oh, wow. Way to go, movie. That's 2 times you thought something was going to happen and it did. Oh, boy. So, but this, and then of course there's a young helicopter pilot who's a lady. Oh, and this is how I got on it because I was watching Dumb and Dumber To. I was looking up Jim Carrey, and then there was the one lady who Finkel's Einhorn and Einhorn is Finkel. It's that lady, and she's the young hot pilot in this. And so of course, Nicolas Cage and her, they used to be in a relationship. He's trying to get it back together. They even have, she's at a bar, she's dancing. He walks over, he gets into a fight with the guy that she's dancing with, and then doesn't go to prison for assault. The cops don't get involved. It's like only in Hollywood. That doesn't come up with, and then they everything that happens, it's like the base is like a small town culture. So everybody hears about everything, but he doesn't have to deal with CID, which is Criminal Investigation Division. His superiors don't bring it up at any point. You punched out a dude at a bar. Hollywood's a wonderful place. So they do a lot of training, and it's a bunch of Apaches flying around. It's war porn. That's what it is. This is a film that the DoD and the Pentagon was like, go make this movie. We need more pilots. Go get the young kids who are in middle school and high school to watch this film so they'll go into the military and want to be pilots because we need more pilots. That is clearly what happened. And then it's Tommy Lee Jones pre the fugitive Tommy Lee Jones, but still being Tommy Lee Jones. So at one point they're just getting into the Apache, which Homeboy has been flying for years at this point. He's not a rookie. And then Tommy Lee Jones is like, put your hand here, put your hand here, put your hand here, lift yourself up into the helicopter. Now put it at 900 degrees. And you're like, hey, it's Tommy Lee Jones. But he's not a rookie. So, but I thought that was some pretty good Tommy Lee Jones right now. So, Nicolas Cage, of course, he's a hotshot pilot. And there's one point we're in the simulator, and it looks like a Nintendo video game. And he's like, I'm the best pilot ever. I'm the best pilot ever. And he's blowing shit up left and right. But then when he puts on the eye thing, where I don't know how to explain it. What you're seeing here is just normal stuff, and what you're seeing here is the data the computer's feeding you. And you have to blend that together and fly the helicopter. And he struggles with that. And then his girlfriend points out that he's one eye is dominant. So if he's right-handed, she's like, pretend like you're going to shoot at me like when you're a kid with a gun, playing, Cowboys and Indians. And he goes to shoot, but he uses like this eye instead of right eye. So he's right-handed, but he's left eye dominant. And that's throwing him off in the helicopter with the gets the thing on. And I'm like, I know nothing about your world. Never been in the military. What little I know is in regards to the infantry from like Platoon and Hamburger Hill and that stuff. I'm more familiarity there. Wouldn't how is this just now coming up? Like again, this is not your first mission. That you were in a mission before at the beginning of the film. It's not your first time in an Apache helicopter. That's what you do. It's not your first time in a simulator. How is this just now coming up? That doesn't make any damn sense. But so to fix the problem, they put a pair of pantyhose on his head with like a snorkel kind of thing, so that he has to use the one eye. Or is it this one? It's something. So he has to train his right eye to be balanced with his left eye. And it's like, it's just now it's coming up. No. No. That would have come up, when, I don't know, infantry, you got basic, you got your MOS, and then you get deployed to your unit. This would have come up in your MOS training equivalent for a pilot. This is when you train to be a pilot in a more generic sense. Now you're training for this specific helicopter. That's when that would have come up. Or even when you were training to be a pilot, generic. Because I know you can't be colorblind to be a pilot. They care about your eyes. So that would have come up. And it wouldn't be your girlfriend who told that to you. It'd been some balding fat guy doctor or something. Not the romantic relationship that you have, not the love interest in the story. But you got to give her something to do other than just having nice perky tits. So here we are. This is so by the numbers. Oh my god! If you've seen a war movie, propaganda war movie like Top Gun, you've seen this. You don't, and so every scene you're like, what's going to happen. But instead of having several firefights throughout the film, it's just, I guess, dogfights for helicopters. I don't know. It's just training, girlfriend, training, dates with the girlfriend, training and dates with the girlfriend. And then they have the one big mission at the end where one helicopter crew of the guys you didn't even get to know hardly at all got shut down. I don't remember them being in the rest of the film. They're dead now. And then one dude gets killed. And the other guy gets wounded in the arm because you can't blow up there. But it's like Tommy Lee Jones. And then Tommy Lee Jones is like, I need to go on this mission. I'm the best pilot you got. And Captain Dale Dye's like, no, you're old. I need you here training these guys. So of course, to go on the big, scary, all important mission for the DEA. Okay. There wasn't no war going on. Captain Dale Dye's like, I'm putting you on this mission. It's like, yeah, I could have told you that in the opening credits, bro. The first time you brought this up, you knew he was going to end up on the mission. Everything that happens, like, yeah, I knew that was, it's coming. You know what's going to happen before they do. There's no surprises in this movie whatsoever. So you can't kill Tommy Lee Jones because he's a principal character. And you can't kill Nicolas Cage because he's a principal character. And you can't kill the love interest who's flying the little spy bird around. So you got to kill one of the co-pilots. And so they kill the guy named Rice. He dies. And that's the one kind of shocker, because I thought it would be Nicolas Cage's co-pilot. But you can't kill him because he has to save the day. Those two pilots have to be the guys that save the day. So it has to be Tommy Lee Jones and his co-pilot. They get shot down. His co-pilot gets killed. And then the girlfriend has to take a rocket and assemble it as the bad guys are coming after her and fire and kill a rocket from a soldier fired from the ground. So it's like, as soon as you introduce these concepts, you know who's going to live and who's going to die. And the good guys are going to be fine. And then at the very end, the two lovebirds go walking up the hill, and there's this whole thing where they're driving his car on a date, but she has to drive. And so they're debating on who gets to drive the helicopter back to base. But it's like, didn't that dude just get killed? Isn't that his dead body, like right over there? Like you're walking away from the helicopter. His blood is still all over the instruments and shit. And you're like, I'm driving. No, I'm driving. No, I'm driving. Do 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 do. And you credits roll with the romantic love music. And it's like, one of your crews, the whole helicopter got blown up. So those two guys are gone. That co-pilot Rice is dead. You just killed the bad guy, and then they didn't even tell you about the firefight from the DE agents on the ground and the infantry on the ground that went and caught the bad guys. So you were just taking out the air support. Then you had two fast movers show up, and it's like, where'd they come from? And so someone has to go, where'd they come from? The only explanation. As if a drug cartel is going to have fast mover jets, dude. They had two jets. And I don't know the difference. It wasn't F-16s or F-14s. It was some kind of really sophisticated jet. And it's like a drug cartel? I could be wrong. I work at a dry foods packaging company. Never been in the military. But I don't think drug cartels have jets. And if they did have jets, where do they get the crews, the fuel, and then the area they're like, in the training and all that stuff, they're going over the mission. It's like, where did they take off from? Like, that's not formal military. That's a drug cartel, and they got two jets. A helicopter, drug cartel. Could happen. I could see that. And it's like the little, what do you call little birds. Just one guy flying it, and he's got the two Vulcans. He's got the miniguns, as they call them. He's got rockets. Yeah, a drug cartel might get their hands on one of those, especially in like Latin America. Okay, jets. That's something Russia would have, bro, or China. The two types that they said, it's like, where did a drug cartel get those? And all the shit you need for those, like mechanics and missile systems and the electronics, jet fuel, a drug cartel, and not just one but two. Huh? So you wrote a script for the Cold War. Oopers poopers. It ended. Oops. Ooperdoodle. They started writing this in the late 80s. So Saddam hadn't, we don't have to go kill Saddam yet. So you don't have to hit me with that propaganda because we don't know what's going to happen yet. So it's drug cartels, DEA, and they got two fucking jets. Oh. So either the Pentagon or the DOD was like, put two jets in there, get us ready for the war in the Middle East. Something just non-fucking sensical. So by the numbers, this was a Pentagon propaganda project from word go, and the only thing that was missing was like the black dude. There was no token black guy, but I guess Rice counted because I guess he was Hispanic. Even though his name was Rice and not like Gutierrez, maybe he wasn't East Asian. I don't know. But, somehow, some way between Tommy Lee Jones and Nicolas Cage, maybe it's because Cage had all his hair, and I was like, man, it's been a long time since I've seen Cage with all his hair, dude. I watched the whole thing. So, even though every single thing that happened, you knew it was going to happen. I managed to stick with it. The jokes. If you're under the age of 20, there was this really odd and interesting era of culture in the United States in the very, very late 80s and the early 90s, where it was so like Home Improvement, Full House, whatever all those types of shows and all the movies, it was like clean, cool. So it was like, these are the cool kids that are all hip and rad, and they don't listen to what mommy and daddy tells them to do. But they say, gosh darn, and dang it, instead of fuck. It's just like, they listen to rock and roll, but it's like clear rock and roll. It's not Metallica. It's not Megadeth. It's not Double Kick, Death Metal Slayer shit. It's like clean, dun, 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 and then Jenny and I fell in love. Dun, 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 dun. I'm playing a guitar if you can't tell. Dun, 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 dun. I'm in love with Jenny. Dun, 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 dun. And that's being cool and like, not 60s taking acid, not, Metallica, not gangster rap, like early 90s. We're hip and we're with it. It's like, the school, like that skit Will Ferrell and Lady did, where it was like the school teacher and the school principal playing piano and singing. It's like that, what, that's like taking it to the man, but it's like really clean and PC. And so it's like nobody snorting coke. You just killed people, and then you're just walking away. It's my turn to drive. No, it's my turn to drive. It's like homeboy's guts are still all over the instruments and shit. It's bleed. I'm sure they got his body out of there, but fucking hell, nobody cares about the carnage that just happened. So, Firebird. Um, the charm of Tommy Lee Jones, Nicolas Cage, to an extent they'll die, makes it fun, but this is not a great movie at all. It's actually kind of bad, but I stuck through it. So check out Firebird from 1990. Nicolas Cage, Tommy Lee Jones, Dale Dye. The lady who was in, not Austin Powers, Ace Ventura, and she's Finkel and Einhorn, Captain Winky. She's the love interest. Check it out. I'll see you guys on the next film. I'm gonna eat some Taco Bell. Word to your mother. Oh, good journey. Take care.